If you're like most of us, you'll find that as you go through your year, you come along and you have various bills that happen once per year. You have others that happen once a quarter, some that happen once a week, once a month, at different intervals. The ones that happen once a year can sometimes even once a quarter, can catch you by surprise. You know they're coming, but we're all human. We get caught up in our day-to-day lives, and it's very easy to lose track of when they come. And then when that big bill hits, you then got to go and scrounge for the funds and try and work out how to go and pay this bill that's come out of the blue, even though you should have actually been prepared for it. Well, this spreadsheet's going to try and help that a little bit. So I've created this spreadsheet to try and manage those big bills when they hit. So if we have a look at some of these, I've got our tax return. Everybody's got to do a tax return, so I've allocated some money in there and set a due by date. Likewise, I'm going to get the car serviced 4 times a year. So each time I'm going to say spend $1,000 or at least allocate $1,000 each time. And then I've also got the date set on those. I've got car insurance that happens once a year. And so I've got some money allocated to that. I've got insurance for my office and some WorkSafe. I've also got my rates that I need to pay. So there's four instalments, but each one of those instalments happens once a year. So I've got the allocation here as well and the due date there. And then registration for the car. And you can go on and on and on with this, depending on your circumstances, but this will give you a good idea on how it works. So let's take a look at this tax return. I can see that it's due on the 4th of the 10th, 23. So that's coming up. This being early September. The amount for $1,100 is what's been allocated, which is roughly what it was last year. So we'll duplicate that and see how we go. So we calculate if that's going to be $1,100, and each week I need to put away $22. So a lot easier to find $22 every week than once find $1,100. You should agree. So there's a weekly contribution to be $22. If I was going to pay it fortnightly, it'd be $43. Remembering that, that's it's a little bit different to double. And what today's balance? If I need to have $1,100 in the bank on the 4th of the 10th, then I need to already have $1,056. So if I've been doing this all year, I would already have $10.56 in the bank ready to go to pay this bill. And each week I'd either be putting $20 or each fortnight I'd be putting in $43 into a different account just to pay the bills. So that's the important part. So I've got my operating account where all my money, day-to-days, expenses, all that kind of stuff comes out of. But then I've got an annuals account that I put this money into, so it's separate, so it's away from my normal cash play money and all those sorts of things, operating expenses, all those sorts of things, my profit, away from all those things. This is just separately put away. I put away a little bit each week, and I can forget about it. And then when those bills turn up, I just pay them. I don't need to worry about where I'm going to get the money from because I've already got it. And this is a good principle that we're going to adopt for all things, including GST and the other bits and pieces that we're going to collect that we pay periodically. But here we're just focused on annuals. So given this date and this amount, I should have this much in the bank ready to go, and then every week I should be contributing this much. Each fortnight I should be putting forward. I do it fortnightly, but you may choose to do it weekly, but I put in $43. So you can see that I've got pretty much all my usual things allocated here. What I might want to do is actually, I've got some colour coding on here too. So anything that's coming up in the next week, I've got colour coded in this orange. If it's past the due by date, then it turns red. If it's coming up in the next month, it's yellow. What I might do first though is I'll highlight these columns or these fields, and what I'll do is I'll do a sort. So I've got a sort option up here, so I'll click on this sort button, and what I want to do is sort on the B column, So I've only got these highlighted. I want to change that to the B column, and I want to do it in ascending order. Let's see what that looks like. And that now just shuffles everything around. So it puts it in date order basically. So I can see the next one that's coming up is a car service that's due on the 12th of the 9th. And then I've got my insurance is due on the 16th and so forth. So that hasn't changed anything. It's just shuffled them the fields around, the items I've got to pay for around. So down the bottom, down here, that's purely just a display thing, but it just means that I can see at any point in time what's coming up next. Let's say, for example, that this car service has now been done. I can go and say, well, next year I'm going to do the same thing. So I can go and change the date to be, let's say, car servicing. I'm in September. I do it every September on the 12th. So I'll change that to 2024 over here. Then down the bottom here, I've got totals. So what I've got down here is that every fortnight I can put in $441 into my other bank account for my annuals. So I know that all these bills are covered. If I was doing it weekly, then it'd be $224. Now, just to be on the safe side, I'll put in a buffer there too, because sometimes these bills go up. Sometimes go up a little bit, sometimes they go up a lot, but I put in a 3% buffer. So I'm going to say, take this number and add 3% to it, and this is the number I'm going to transfer every fortnight. This is going to fluctuate a little bit as we go along, and bills change, that sort of thing, but this is not an exact science or anything like that, but it does give you money that you will have available when you need it. So according to this, how much should I have in the bank today is nearly $8,000. And as you can probably appreciate, finding $8,000 during the year is actually quite a bit. These individual bills, not so much, but if you get a couple of these, like we've got $3,800 worth of bills here all within the next month, and I've got to find that somewhere. I don't really want to go into my operating expenses and that sort of thing, try and go and drag another $3,800, nearly $4,000 out from my day-to-day operations. So this tells me I need to have about that $8,000 in there. So what I do is I set up a regular payment now to say that every fortnight I'm going to transfer $455 out of my operating account into my annuals account, and then that's ready for me whenever I need it. So that's this spreadsheet and how it works, and we'll talk a bit more about some of the other things later on.